Hello, Morgan here. In today's video I want to show you 3 mid-game squad builds for Unicorn Overlord that I found to be great additions for most battlefields you throw them on. As mentioned in my other video, this game showers you with options in forms of items and units alike, with each kingdom introducing its own set of new classes. Those vary greatly in strength depending on what you're facing. Some units also need dedicated teams and specialized items to really pop off, which also means you might need some guidance on how to utilize the options you have available to you. Now if you like what I do and want to support me, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you have not already. I cover all sorts of RPG, speed, strategy, C or ARPG on this channel in the form of extensive guides. So thank you very much for supporting me and let's dive into the video. First, what is a mid-game squad? Those come online after beating Cornia and venturing into the Drakenhold or Elfheim zone, which also bring in new units. At this point you should also have upgraded all your squads to 4-mans, with 5-mans on the horizon, just not quite there yet. So that's what I'm going to look at. I also only want to use named characters without hires as much as possible. As for the gameplay, look at the timestamps. First let's have a look at my what I call them Riders of Dawn. Those consist of a Sainted Knight, a Doom Knight, and a Great Knight, and a supportive unit with the High Priestess of Scarlet. All 3 riders synergize quite well with each other, so I thought they are the perfect team to throw together. The Sainted Knight is really good versus armored targets, using the runic sword to deal devastating magic damage with the magic attack. This attack has a 150 magic potency and a hit rate of 100 and will prioritize armored targets. But most importantly, this unit prioritizes their row heal to heal our cavalry up to full. This restores a moderate amount of HP, which is the magic potency counter right at the bottom with 100%, meaning 45 health recovered. I like to have this one set to 75% or less HP because it can get quite dangerous if my cavalry falls below 50% health, and we also have our row barrier which prevents magic damage from dealing damage to us. This also negates magic afflictions before a magic attack is going to hit us. We also have the Holy Guard, which is a guard in the front line. It also prevents debuffs from hitting us, and we have the magic barrier which we can apply on one of our allies, which is quite nice because our allies do not have much magic defense. This unit is also featuring the Phantom Knight's shield, which additionally gives us 20 magic defense. So even without, we have around 40 magic defense at level 23. All in all, a very strong supportive unit and kind of a tank unit versus magical damage. Next up is our Doom Knight, which is basically our health battery. We're going to feature here the White Knight shield, which comes with the life share ability. Life share shares HP with an ally. We trigger this one below 50% health. So if we do not have our heal and need that heal as soon as possible, we can sacrifice 50% of our HP to heal an ally for just that. For a passive point, that's a quite amazing ability. Now we need to recover our health with a Sanguine Axe as well as a Sanguine Arts ability, which will recover basically 100% of our damage dealt. We're going to further boost the defense and attack of this unit with Vengeance, giving us 20% attack damage and defense. So those are generic, so they buff our magic attack as well as our magic defense alongside our physical defenses, so that's quite good. And lastly we have our venom attack, which deals a considerable amount of poison damage if we poison an enemy with it. Most of the time the sanguine attack will proc, but if not, we're going to poison an enemy. Further, we are going to use the power belt with the toughness ability. So before we're getting attacked, we're going to pop this one and we can endure 1 lethal blow, preventing them from killing us. This activated below 50% health, so if we use life share we also use toughness and prevent the enemy from hitting us and killing us. Lastly we have the Great Knight Renault, but you can use any knight. We have Pile Thruster to finish enemies, we have Assault Lance to finish up infantry, giving us a +1 to AP. Furthermore, this ability has a 2 times physical damage boost because of the class trait. The other classes also have the physical damage boost. However, the Sainted Knight has a better magical stat, scaling B with magic attack and only C with physical attack, so mostly it's better to use the magic attack on this class. Now, as for the most important item on this class is going to be the Generous Pike, giving us decent physical damage, base PP +1, and the Phalanx Shift ability. Phalanx Shift will activate 1 time per combat and grant 20% attack damage and crit rate to all cavalry units in a row. This means all our damage is going to be buffed from the Saint Knight, Doom Knight and the Great Knight. We are also going to buff our damage with the Cavalry's Cowl, which is going to buff our damage by another 20%, which also buffs magic attack and physical attack. Now this whole squad is a little bit on the squishier side when it comes to physical damage, but we can do something against that. with the Cleric's Cane, which gives us the protection ability, and the High Priest Stress, which gives us also the Holy Light ability, which I will talk about a little bit later. We're going to reduce damage of a whole row of our allies by 50%. The High Priestess also has the ability to remove target debuffs with a heal and remove buffs from a target. We're going to use Quick Heal with the Scarlet Ribbon, and we have the passive Miracle. After receiving a passive point, we get a little bit of HP back and the ally gets a 1 PP plus. This can come in form of the Saint Knight. So overall a very rounded setup, but it struggles versus Griffin Knight and basically all flyers. So keep that in mind. This is not invulnerable, but it deals exceptionally well with a lot of infantry. Next we're going to look at our all-purpose unit number 2. This one has a little bit less damage and is more about retaliation and taking damage, preventing debuffs from happening, and just dealing with defenses. For a frontliner we have Virginia, which comes as the Crusader class. The upgraded one is the Valkyria. We're going to use a Sanguine Blade to recover HP. We're going to use the Blue Rose Shield, which also comes with the Royal Guard, giving us a guaranteed medium block, as well as HP recovery, 25%. We're going to use the Azure Crest Shield, the second one we get, and the Retaliation Earrings, which you get at the very end of the Drakenhold zone. This will give us 40 damage, additionally to our counterattack, which we have in form of the Maiden's Hammer. Specifies it's a counterattack, it has a hit rate of true, it has 150 potency base and can have up to 250 potency, so it scales incredibly well, and this one will devastate most enemies in the game. We have the Iron Crusher versus armor targets, we have the Vertical Edge versus flying targets. So overall a great frontliner, just a little bit worse than our Lord. For support we have the Bishop, which is basically acting as a healer and debuff cleanser with the refresh ability. With the Lyrical Wand we have the active heal here, which will buff our back row with the highest physical attack damage by healing them and giving them a +1 to AP. For this we have another Breaker, which has the same exact class setup as our other Breaker, except we're going to use the Morning Star, which provides us with the Painful Smash, which is an ability that deals 150 potency, which is basically the same as the Spiked Hammer, just costs 2 AP, and we deal 25 additional damage based on the target's HP. So this one is quite nice versus high health targets. We're going to boost our initiative, so our turn order is not as scuffed. We're going to boost the damage with the Warrior's Medallion and the Carnelian Pendant. We have the Assaulting Blow to recover some AP, and otherwise we're going to heavy smash armor targets. In between our allies getting hit by an attack, we get an attack boost and accuracy boost, so we are also quite decent versus high evasion targets. Which we're going to complete with the Elven Archer, which comes with the Wind Arrow. Now this ability inflicts a -50 evasion. It has quite a lot of accuracy, but doesn't have True Strike, so we want to boost this one with the Blue Spectacles, giving us a +20 accuracy, so we can hit most targets with a high evasion. We're going to prefer flying targets and then basically the highest evasion target. We have the Quick Cure ability, which removes all debuffs from an ally, and they get immunity for 1 debuff. So this one is also great versus shamans. And lastly, we're going to take a look at the Flyer. In our front line, we have a Wyvern Master with a high chance to evade, which comes with the deflect ability, so we deflect 1 instance of melee damage, get a 20% evasion. We're also going to use the Lapis Pendant, which is giving us another instance of PP, and we're going to use 2 special items. One is the Silver Trident and the other one is the Wyvern Reins. The Wyvern Reins gives us initiative and gives one of our next strikes a True Strike buff, and when we are at 100% health we get a 20% attack boost. We combine this one with the Lightning Shaker, which comes with 100 physical potency and it stuns. This ability is not a ranged attack, it will target the front line first, so that's quite a drawback, but we're going to basically stun the whole front line and prevent them from moving. We are additionally going to utilize Chloe. Chloe comes with a Keen Call, which now buffs our crit rate by 100%, which will affect our Wyvern Rider because we are going to use the Tailwind Cape to buff our action speed with 15 initiative, targeting our Wyvern Master. So this one will come in first, get a True Strike buff, get an initiative buff, and get a guaranteed crit off. The purpose of the Elven Archer is the same, so cleansing our palette. The Sergeant is also here to deal with the backline with Flame Javelin, Long Thrust, Javelin, as well as Flame Javelin for infantry. This is a priority list for the abilities, and we have the First Aid Kit to heal back up. You don't necessarily need the Flame Javelin, but it deals quite a lot of physical damage, especially versus flying targets. And last you have the Elven Augur, which comes as an upgrade unit already. This one is very well fitted to deal with flying units with a range attack that has 60 potency ×3, summoning additional fairies. which we can use with a freezing thrust, which deals a ton of damage in a single target department, also freezing enemies. We're going to buff our damage as well as our AP with the diurnal impetus, which comes with the down ropes, which you acquire at the middle point of Elfheim. And we have Curing Heal, removing additional debuffs. So this one is mostly for burst damage. Overall a great unit versus cavalry, a great unit versus flyers, and we also have a little bit of debuff prevention versus shamans. Now this sums up the video. If you liked what you saw, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you have not already. You can also support me some more by joining my channel membership, which will allow me to keep making videos. So thank you very much for watching and bye.死にたいの？